Whether this may or may not have been a question you've ever considered before, you are here. And it's a question that you're now considering. There's only two possible answers to this question, and the first one is that either A, there was nothing, or B, there was something. Now, if you concur with Stephen Hawking and agree with him that A, there was nothing, then click this link, watch his video, concur with him, and there's really all I have to say about that. There's nothing really more that I can add and nothing else that I can say that will be beneficial to you in the rest of this video. So I just suggest you log off, click off, and that'll be it. Nice meeting you. But if you're here because you believe that there's something more than nothing, that B, something might be a possibility, then I encourage you to stick with this video and to continue watching. There's a class that students at the University of Florida take called Introduction to Astronomy, or Discovering the Universe. It's not mandatory, but it's a science that's definitely available. In that class, in exploring the stars and exploring the moon and exploring the galaxy, the universe, and everything that ever existed, there is a question that comes up when you study the commencement of the universe. In what was the beginning of everything and life as we know it, in the singularity, string theory involving quarks and things of the like, what caused all of that to occur? Now, Stephen Hawking may say that there was nothing that existed, but does it really make sense that everything that we know it came from nothing? I have a proposal for you today, but before we get to that, I think this may be the first video of many that will be covering this topic. I encourage you to stick with it, to think, and man, to do your own research as well. So what was the Big Bang Theory? It was a scientific theory of the universe's earliest moments, stating that all matter in our observable universe came into being at a single moment in time as an extremely hot, dense mixture of subatomic particles and radiation. It was a formation of the known universe, this beautiful collision of dense particles created both you and I. There's a line in a textbook that says, we're just all stardust. We're just all made of stardust, right? And that's really crazy, but when you think about it, it's like, man, really the same elements that existed back then. I don't even want to get into all of this, but you know, we exist out of that. And the crazy thing is, the Bible says that, man, when God made Adam, he made him out of dust, right? Out of the dust of the earth. The same thing that the dust and the crust of the earth is made out of, we're made out of. And now science is just confirming that. That's really crazy. That blows my mind. So in doing all of this research, right, I remember that one day I was in class, in asking my professor this question, his was really one of uncertainty. And so I started to do my own research outside of the classroom. And in doing so, I really discovered that much research done around Big Bang Theory focuses on that moment itself, involving string theory, right? Involving quarks and the singularity, but hardly any research can tell us what happened before the Big Bang Theory. Now, basically, right, I guess that's really your answer. Little research can tell us what happened before the Big Bang Theory. You're probably wondering why this video is still continuing. You're probably wondering why there's several videos in this series. Stick with me and you'll find out why. If you're like, that's fine of an explanation for me, click off. That's fine. Click off, man. But if that's not, then let's keep going, right? So I'm going to include this paragraph right here from BRITANNICA. And it gives this explanation as to two elements, right, that are really important. They're actually necessary for the beginning of life here. And one of them is called mass energy and one is called space-time. However, there's a pretty ongoing debate in regards to which one of these elements came first, kind of like the debate in between the chicken or the egg, right? Which one came first there? And it's very interesting because Einstein could not figure out which one came first. And in figuring that out, he essentially would have figured out the beginning of not the universe, but the beginning of whatever was before the universe. So it's fascinating he couldn't find that answer. However, I really want to focus on the last part of this paragraph where it says that no one knows the answer to this question, right? And perhaps some would argue that the answer is not to be sought within the boundaries of natural science. Fascinating. Fascinating. I feel like such a nerd. But that's so interesting because Einstein even here says, like, you know what? Perhaps the answer is not to be sought within natural science. Now, the rest of this paragraph really talks about, and it's Einstein trying to answer again this question of what happened before the Big Bang Theory. The entire article will be linked right here. It'll also be linked in the description. So feel free to read through that to get a better understanding. But when I really read this, I'm like, well, you know what? This is coming from Britannica. Like, if this source doesn't have the answer, then I'm really not sure where has the answer. Again, right? Then Crystal, like, what is the point of this video? Why did you make this? Stick with me. Stick with it. Stick with it, because we're gonna get there. I challenge you firstly, right, to begin to do your own research on this topic. But I really do encourage you first and foremost to do your own looking in and digging into this topic. Right now, let's kind of switch gears here to the explanation of the Big Bang Theory, right? So in essence, all of this hot, dense matter, right, was densely packed, and then in this explosion, everything that we know came into being, came into existence. And what's even crazier about that is that along with that explosion, right, came systems, came order, and came structure, right? Within the earth, there is an ecosystem, right? There's a system to the way life exists, to the way human and animals interact and live with each other, to the way our body even works, to the way that every atom works, right? Everything exists in this order, in this system, that this thing relies off of this thing, or this thing is built from this thing, which is built from that thing, which is built from this thing, which is built from that. And this, even like right in our bodies, we have a cell, we have I'm just kidding. In our bodies, we have like the mitochondria, right? The powerhouse of the cells. And then we have a single cell itself. And then we have cells which combine to make tissues, and then muscles, and then, right, or our organs. And it's just crazy because then all those come together and make up ourselves, which is a human. And the most fascinating part of that is, I'm going to go off a little branch right here, but it's that if you were to ask me, right, how does my body breathe, I could not explain to you all of the systems and the cells that go into making that happen. I could not right now physically stop my lungs or even move them if I wanted to. I can't physically will, right, my heart to stop beating, and it's just, I don't even know how it beats, right? Science, that's something that we all have to learn through science and through research. It's not something that we innately know. But it's fascinating because we are us, right? I am my body, and yet I won't have knowledge about it unless I learn about it. And it's just crazy because, as the Lion King puts it, right, this is the circle of life. Thank you everyone for watching. That is it for today's video. If you like this video, do not forget to subscribe, like, and share, or don't. Love you guys so much, and see you in the next one.